Hey y'all, thanks again for watching us. Kate and I have now arrived in Bloomfield, New Mexico. The last week we were basically in Arizona, which was just a whirlwind of crazy extremes. We were in the Sedona Cottonwood area and had great weather there at the very beginning of the week. And then I took Kate down to Phoenix for her trip back to Michigan, and it was 92 degrees, just hours and hours of traffic. Then after we left there, we started moving north and east, and we started getting confused with our time zones because Arizona does not recognize daylight savings time. But if you're on the Navajo reservation, they do recognize daylight savings time. So we were totally messed up there in our time. Then we started coming into these 30 and 40 mile an hour winds, and even had snow when we got up to Flagstaff. So yeah, just all the travel and all the weather kept us on our toes.
It sure did. So we didn't realize how big Phoenix was and that there were 3 airports, not just one. So we figured out which airport I needed to fly out of to go to Michigan State in East Lansing and visit Sarah. Had a great time and got to meet her 3 lovely roommates and check out campus, which is huge. We had a lot of nice quality time. We stayed at the Marriott downtown and took care of all of her beauty treatments and did a little shopping and enjoyed some sushi. So that was fun. I hadn't seen her in 9 weeks, so that was a long time. But Chip picked me up and we got back, and I got to visit Cottonwood where he had been, and we went to some wineries and did some tasting, so that was a lot of fun. But the highlight was dinner at this restaurant called Mole, and beautiful views of Sedona. And then I had my first chance to try chocolate mole sauce. So that was delicious. And then tres leche cake wasn't a bad way to finish off the meal.
Right, it was a good meal for sure. And then after we left there, we moved over to the east side of Arizona to Canyon de Chelly, which has been home to the Navajo Indians for the past 400 or 500 years. Prior to that, the Hopi Indians lived there. Prior to that, the Anasazi Indians, all the way back more than 2,000 years ago. So just full of history. Learned a lot about how they lived. Just a fascinating lifestyle living down in that canyon.
The canyon was fascinating, as well as our tour guide, Benny Teller, and learning about some of the hardships that the Indians went through, but then even what they're going through today. Running water is a luxury, and most of them have to drive miles to collect it in drums and haul it back to their homes. Electricity isn't guaranteed, things that we all take for granted. And I don't know, it's pretty heartbreaking to hear everything that they do. A lot of hardships. Life is rough on the reservation for sure. So puts everything into perspective. Enjoy these clips and look at the beautiful sights that we've gotten to see.
So after Canyon de Chelly, we moved even further north into Monument Valley and the Four Corners area. Again, this is a Navajo reservation. We did another Jeep tour. In fact, you have to have a Navajo guide to actually go into the Monument Valley if you want to see all the rock formations, which are just stunning. We learned a lot about Jim Goulding and his wife built the first trading post. And then it's also the same area that John Ford, famous director for all the classic Western movies from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, where he filmed all of those great classic movies with John Wayne and Henry Fonda and all those guys. So it was fun to learn a lot there. And then after that, we moved right over into Colorado, and we got to visit Mesa Verde National Park.
Mm-hmm. The cliff dwellings are amazing. They're like little cities within the cliffs, and they're still pretty intact. So that was really fun to see that today. We're going to be moving farther south into New Mexico, and I have to say this is probably something I've been looking forward to the most. I've never been to Taos. I haven't been to Santa Fe in over 20 years. So the food, the culture, again, all the art and jewelry is just so fun to experience. So we're excited about that for this upcoming week. So yeah, check out these clips and we will catch up with you next week.
Thanks again. Don't forget to watch Kate on Instagram at riveting_adventures. And we will see you next week from Santa Fe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.